Hey everyone, Garage 79R. It's Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to your mothers and your wives and your baby mamas and everything. I hope you all having a good day. So yesterday was the first WDCR autocross event of the season down in Waldorf at Regency Stadium. So let's start off. We'll start with Friday night. Made the video of packing the car up, and the weather. Even right before I went to bed, I checked it. I was like checking it like every 15 minutes. Still said 80 to 90% chance of rain all day. So I had put the 205s on the car, thinking that it was going to be kind of like a wet day. Wake up at 4:45 and check the weather, and it just says overcast. And then at 2:30, light showers beginning until about 4:30. All right, so loaded up the big wheels and tires. We're gonna go. We're gonna go for it. Loaded up the jack, and blah blah blah. Head on down there. The drive down wasn't too bad. I mean, granted, I left the house at 10 of 6, give or take, and it took me about an hour 45 to get down there, and I had no traffic at all. And the drive was pretty nice. 495 is a little rough, and also there's like a long uh, off ramp or on ramp onto 5 that takes you down to Waldorf, and there was a nice little drop after the one bridge. I was like, man, if you catch that wrong in the rain, you're going in the wall. But anyway, get down there, get the car wheels swapped, get checked, and everything's fine. And now with me being run group number 2, I was able to relax and hang out. So I spent the first heat mostly hanging out with Greg Pollock, who's actually one of my regular viewers. He's a very fast guy. Him and Jen, they are. Jen's not a guy, Jen's a girl, but they're real fast, and they have a whole bunch of cars, and I've known them for years. So he was doing announcements, and we were just having fun up there, and got to shoot the shit with some old faces from last year. Just I could have done some ride-alongs, but it's just nice to catch up with friends. So first run group, they were hitting cones, having trouble. People were going off course. So the course walk, you could tell the course was going to be really technical, but at least for me, I don't know how to directly translate it to driving yet. Like you get an idea, but I haven't gone like I know what exactly I'm doing here. Like I don't have that yet. Most of the time, I only do one course walk. That's just to get a basic direction or sense of direction. I did do 2. I did 1, went to the bathroom, came back, did another one just in case. And I could tell it was going to be a tough one, but I thought for sure that I was going to be able to use a lot more of my horsepower, but I didn't. So when our run group went up, we started making our laps, and I don't normally hit cones. If I hit cones because I'm sliding or lost control briefly, I don't normally drive right over cones. And my first 3 runs, I hit cones. I think on one run I did hit 2 or 3, and I think 1 on 2 more. So something like that. And so we only got 5 runs, and my 4th and 5th runs were clean. My 4th run was my fastest run. My 5th run probably could have been even faster, but I came out a little wide on the one gate, and was about to actually hit a cone, so I kind of like stopped, like hit the brakes and went around it. And that run was only like 3/10 or 2/10 slower than my faster run. So I think if I didn't make that mistake, that could have been an even faster run. Wouldn't have mattered. I would still been in 3rd place. The usual suspects in XB and XA were out. We got Mike Brown with the supercharged Miata. Tony with the banana. He has a banana and a Miata. It's actually a wrap, but it looks really, really good. And then Andrew with the K-swapped MRS or MR2 Spider. And then Ada and Bodie. And so Ada's got a new Supra, and Bodie's got a WRX, like a, I don't know, 2013 WRX or something like that. And I think Bodie. I forget what he wants us to call him. I just try not to say the names because I know I'm going to butcher it. So, so anyway, I wasn't really happy with my driving, and on top of that, Mike Brown had a co-driver, this guy named Cody, a little younger guy, probably 30-ish if I had to guess. and he ended up doing FTD for the whole day in Mike Brown's Miata, which was just, I mean, we know that car is capable and fast, but he just hopped in it and just destroyed everyone. So he was FTD plus first in our run group, and Mike was second, and I was third. I think Andrew was fourth, and Tony was fifth. So yeah, it was just crazy to see this. You know, I've never heard of Cody before, never met him. I ended up working with him at the sound. We're measuring sound at these events now. So I was reading him off, and he was jotting them down. And real nice guy. And you know, I gave him a little shit. Like, yeah, I walked up to him initially when he started blasting off these 40s, and he actually ended up running the 39s. You know, I was like, with all due respect, F you. But he's a real nice guy to talk to. I'll gladly talk to him again in a heartbeat. And it was just amazing. He just hopped in someone else's car, and he said he's been into Miatas for a long time, but he's still just someone else's car and just obliterate. It's just awesome. You know, it's awesome to see that, to see the potential. It kind of makes me want to put an expert in my car and see what it's really capable of. I don't know how much I actually have it maxed out. I think I'm pretty close, but I mean, I think we all think we're pretty maxed out, and then you get somebody else that just drives away. So, Earl did well. A lot of the reason why I hit cones was I wasn't used to his newfound grip. The surface at Regency is really nice. It's actually really grippy. It's a little bouncy, a little peaky. You know, I guess they put arches in it to help with drainage or whatever, but it's not bad. But if you're stiffly sprung, you're rocking around a little bit. And if you've seen my video I posted yesterday, you can sense some of that. But yeah, I'm so used to the car, kind of just. It never used to directly turn like that. It was always good, but there's always more available, and you put more tire on it, it's going to turn even harder and sooner, and it just directly translated for yesterday. The car was just turning, and that's why I drove over so many cones. But it did not rotate like I expect the much more wider stagger that I'm running was going to promote. The car more or less drove the same with just more grip. So that, I don't know how to retune the car. The rear bar is maxed out. I mean, I could probably put more spring rate in it, but it's already picking up the inside wheels. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. For the most part, the car ran fine. On the drive home, we get all that Waldorf traffic, and it started to pour. And the car developed an issue, and I'm wondering if it's the alternator getting weak. If the blower fan is on, and the wipers were on, it would occasionally just want to just stop running at a stoplight. And of course, this is always like in traffic and busy, so I was like always constantly kind of keeping the RPMs up a little bit, and it was just, I could not wait to get home. It ended up taking over 2 hours to get home. And Waze took me on all sorts of ways to avoid traffic jams. So anyway, other than that, the car ran fine. It did do the hiccup issue. One time I was able to floor it. I can't remember if it's in the fastest time video or my fifth run. It was one of the last runs that did that. So that's still an issue. But I think for the most part, driveline wise, it's sorted. Unless I break something. Here, knock on particle board. Here, knock on real wood. So I'm hoping I can now start focusing on me as a driver and trying to get better, and maybe start really dialing in the car's suspension and footwork. Because it seems like pretty much every year I'm always chasing motor issues. So I really need that all to relatively behave. And you know what? I'm not even worried about turning the power up. It's got plenty of power. I'm saying yesterday I barely got to use all of it. I think we're going to leave it alone, other than still try to figure out the hiccup issue. And I think the tune's pretty much as good as it can get. So, I'll I'll put a different. I want to put an automatic alternator on because those are typically 70 amp, and this should be a 60 amp. And I think I have the one from Floyd. If I do, I'll put that on the car, and hopefully that resolves that wiper issue, or that could have been just a coincidence. I don't know, but other than that, I think driveline, I can forget about it for a while, and we can start working on this footwork. I want to try to get more caster in the car. There's basically a half a degree of caster in the front, and that's with the spacers already on the back controller mounts. So I'm thinking I'm going to get the PowerFlex kit that has the offset bushings that pushes the control arm out, which then pushes the ball joint forward, which gives you more caster. It's not a lot, but it's a step in the right direction. I even thought about modifying the control arm and just moving the ball joint forward, because if you look at the car directly from the side, the wheel's actually slightly behind center in the arch, so it could go forward a little bit. So I think if I can, I want to try to get the bushings first, do that, see what it gives me, see how it drives. Then I'll start getting creative. I really do want to build custom control arms, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off this year, or at least during the race season. But yeah, wrestling these 245s on autocross course is going to kill me because I don't have power steering. Remember, it's a deleted power rack. So, I have the same ratio as power steering, but with no assist. So, and it's just like, it's just full on tugging it. It actually has me considering trying to rig up some sort of power steering, like electric power steering, or revising the turbo system to allow a power steering pump to go back on the car. I don't know yet. Likely not that, because I don't like that style. I'd rather just do electric, and I could put it anywhere, but we'll see. It's something I'm going to consider maybe during the next off season, because I'm too lazy to go lift weights. So anyway, it's a bunch of rambling. If you made it this far, say Boogie Woogie or something of the things. Oh, I just realized I am wearing a Garage 79R t-shirt that I designed and just trying to see if I like it. I didn't want to get anything flashy. I do have Earl on the back. One of my favorite pictures of Earl. I think I need to lower that a little bit, but I also have a shirt that says XB is greater than XA, and the greater than is a lay down traffic cone. And if you're curious, let me know. I'll gladly post the Teespring link. The only thing is they take forever. It took over 2 months to get my shirts and sweatshirt. If I really want to do some merch stuff, I gotta find something with a little bit faster turnaround than that. But I like it. It feels good. It fits good. Shows off my tits. So, I'm gonna get the car unpacked, and I'll see you guys on the next one.